So I originally chose nursing as my major. I didn't want to do that, but I had people in my life telling me that was a good career, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I just chose nursing because my family kind of wanted me to. And then COVID hit, and I was pretty much done with my prerequisites. And then I started thinking about applying to nursing schools, and I realized I actually don't want to deal with people's bodies, too personally. So then I just kind of changed paths, and I tried a bunch of things. And then I transferred to Texas Women's University, started doing psychology because they have a pretty good program. And then realized I would have to get my master's or go further in my education. I didn't want to do that. So I started looking into other options, and I actually went to my dentist, and the hygienist I had told me to look into dental hygiene. And then I found out that my school is one of the only ones that has it as a bachelor's degree. So I wanted my bachelor's, so I applied and got in. We practiced on each other, so we each had a student partner.
Really?
And then we had a mannequin first.
Okay,
his name's Dexter.
first.
Yeah. And then you clean Dexter, and then you get proficient on him, and then we switched to each other. So that was fun and scary because we didn't know what we were doing, but it was helpful because they would your partner would practice on you, and then you'd be like, ow, that hurts, they're not doing it right, and then it'd be your turn, and you'd realize, oh, I don't know how to do it either. So we were guinea pigs for each other. So the Cavitron, which is what I used on you yesterday, it uses cavitation, vibration, and you have to set it on a certain setting so it doesn't harm the gingival tissues. And we're learning how to use it, so it was a little bit there's room for error. But someone in my class had it turned up all the way, and they ended up cutting someone's gums while they were doing that, and didn't realize they were doing it, and the person didn't say anything, so it kind of went really far, and then all of a sudden it was oh, your gums are bleeding. And then my partner was actually a dental student in another country, so she knew a lot, but she had a language barrier and she didn't understand one of the instructions, so she was holding the instrument the opposite of what it was supposed to be, and I would tell her that's kind of hurts every time you do that, and she'd be I don't know, I'm doing it how they told me. So I'm okay, and then a couple weeks later she's oh, I realized I was doing it the exact opposite of what they were telling me to do. So yeah, stuff like that would happen, and it was well, we just had to, we were tested all the time. Every time we learned a new thing, it'd you have to be tested on your proficiency at it, and some of the things didn't make sense to test you on. So we learned how to do a head, neck, and oral exam, and then they made us test on it. And during my test, I forgot to do half of it, and then they ended up just stopping me and be well, just start over, because I just got caught in my head oh, it's a test, I need to remember to do these things. I kind of just forgot what I was doing. Ended up only palpating 2 structures, and I was okay, we're good. It was kind of you were acting. A lot of the stuff is you're acting, because you have to do it for the professor. And I would get stage fright, because you're acting out a scenario that's not real, but you need to show that you're proficient at it.
Did you pass that test?
They let me redo it.